5 plants that already have zucchini this big on them. So I will have lots this summer. Anyways, and eggplant. And so this recipe is one that I have some very dear memories of. We were in Taormina in 2013, maybe. And for those of you that don't know, I'm half Sicilian and half Italian, if you want to say it that way. My other part of my family's from Bari. Just one second, I got to turn this down. And so we wanted to go to Sicily to see where the other half of my family came from. And so I have some very fond memories of visiting different towns and things like that. So I took this cooking class in Taormina, and if any of you know about Sicily, Taormina is like up on this huge, huge hill, well, mountain, and it's just way, way up high, and very cute town. We just really loved it. And I took this class from a young man named Massimo, and he owned a restaurant and gave these cooking classes. And what was funny about his cooking classes was that all of his recipes were for 20 people. And the reason that the recipes were for 20 people is because that's who came to, they were all from his nonna. And Nonna had 20 people for dinner every Sunday, as Italians do. And so that's why all his recipes were for 20 people. So we said to Massimo, well, typically we, have 4 or 5 or maybe 6 people for dinner. Could you scale the recipe back a bit? Which he did. And in the blog, you will see his original recipe, which has just the cutest, I adore his English translation of his Nonna's recipe. So it's don't movie the vegetables, because they have water. And I think, T-I-N instead of think, or whatever they are. They were just, very cute little words that I just adore. And frankly, to be honest, if I was trying to translate an English recipe to Italian, it would be way worse than that. So anyhow, so that's kind of the background on that. Now, he was very adamant when we made this recipe, this caponata there, that certain things needed to be cooked separately and they needed to be cooked in different oil. So I'm going to take you to the stove now and I'm going to show you a few things. I do it this way most of the time, but if I'm in a hurry, I'll kind of explain to you how I do it when I'm in a hurry. So take you over to the stove. And just excuse my little weird walking here. Okay, so there you can see we've got stuff cooking. And what his big issue was is that the 3 main ingredients, which are eggplant, zucchini, and red peppers, or peppers in general, need to be cooked separately, and they need to be cooked in regular oil. So it's either just like canola oil or rapeseed oil or that type of thing, not in olive oil, because what he said is, and it's really true, is that then it lets the vegetables really have their own flavor come out. And you're going to put it all together at some point, but for the cooking part of it, it lets their own flavors really shine. So that's what those 3 pans are doing. They're cooking in vegetable oil, vegetable oil, vegetable oil, and this one, which is celery, is the one that is allowed to be cooked in olive oil. So we have all these things going, and like I said, when I'm in a hurry, I don't do all of these separately. I may do a couple of them together, but or do one in one pan or whatever. But I think he really has a good point of cooking at least those main vegetables in regular oil. So now I'm just kind of sauteing. Oh, and the other thing about the 3 main vegetables is you cook them very, very slowly on a really low heat, so that they can just kind of mellow out. And you can see there, I cooked these a little bit earlier. They're soft and shiny and pretty. The zucchini didn't lose its color, that type of thing.
Christina, there's a question in the chat asking if that's onion and celery or just
Yes,
celery. Okay.
it's onion and celery. Yeah, these two get to start out the real cooking in the olive oil. And then we're going to end up dumping everything in here. So we have that going on. In the meantime, while this is sauteing and getting a little bit translucent, I'm going to take these vegetables and I'm going to drain them because Massimo used a lot of oil, but I didn't use quite a lot of that same kind of oil. But I do like to take them out and just drain them a little bit. So if you have a dish with a little towel, you can get those draining a little bit before you put it all together. So I'm going to do that real quick. And we've got this here. So you can see there's quite a bit, there's still oil in the pan. So we want these to drain a bit. So we're not doing too much oil. Okay, and the red pepper. In the class, we used all different kinds of peppers. His vegetables in Taormina were bigger than life size. I did find a really big red pepper, which his was about twice this size. And if you go to the website and you look at the pictures from when I actually took the class, you'll see a plate of his vegetables. They're just amazing. They're so beautiful.
Wow. Christina, there's another question. I'm wondering if you know, what does caponata mean?
Oh, that's a really good question. I should have known that. Maybe Angela might know?
Where's Angela?
I don't know off the top of my head. I can look it up. I don't know. I don't know really.
I can look it up. Why don't I Google it? Keep on going and I will Google it.
Okay. So here we've got, I also learned at that class how to do the flip of the vegetables, you know, how to do the flip of the pan, how you lean it down and you flip it up. However, my husband just cleaned the stovetop and I'm not too steady on my feet yet. So I don't think I'm going to do that today, but that was a kind of a fun exercise. And then the one thing I do suggest is getting all of your ingredients laid out, because at a certain point when these get ready to put all together, it kind of goes quickly with the ingredients. So we have raisins here, if you can see that. We have cut up olives. We have pine nuts, capers, a little bit of vinegar, and a little bit of sugar. So we have that ready to go. And this recipe is also in my cookbook. So if you have the cookbook, you can look it up. It's on page 95. Okay. So now we have these, the celery and the onion is soft. So what we're going to do to that is we're going to add the olives. And this is a combination of olives that I get from Trader Joe's. They have a beautiful package of olives. There are seeds in them, or nuts, or whatever you call them. But I really like them. They're very flavorful. So we have the olives, and we have the raisins. And we add the pine nuts. I always have to, you know, the recipe calls for about 1/4 cup of pine nuts. I always have to measure a little bit more because I know that I'm going to eat a couple of them before the rest. So we've got that. Isn't that looking pretty? And then we're going to put the capers in. Ooh, somebody's dog's barking.
I'm sorry.
All right. We've got that. All right. So then once we get that all put in together, then we're going to add the sugar and the vinegar. So here's, it's about 2 teaspoons of vinegar and I think about the same of the sugar, just 1 or 2 teaspoons, not very much. But it's that sugar and the vinegar put together that really give it that kind of sweet and sour kind of flavor. Wish you guys could smell this. Oh my God. Okay.
Real quickly, Christina.
Yeah.
Caponata comes from the Greek because there was influence from Greece in Sicily.
Uh-huh.
Captos in Greek means tagliato, cut, hence caponata.
Ah, thank you, Antimo. You've solved the mystery.
And there is another version too. It says it comes from the Catalan because, and the capon was the sailors' taverns. Who knows? You can make our own. We can make our own story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an hodgepodge.
Yeah.
Hodgepodge. Yeah. Yeah.
Angela, can I share your definition with?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. I'll copy and paste and share with the whole group.
Okay, so now we're going to add in the main vegetables. So
I mean, I
here we
took it
go.
from Wikipedia. Nothing. I just looked it up very quickly. Sorry.
Perfect.
Okay. So I love it because even though the eggplant does tend to, turn brown, which is kind of colorless, the red pepper and the green of the zucchini give it some nice bright color. So there we are. Check that out. And it didn't really take long. Like I said, I did pre-cook the three main veggies because they have to cook very slow and on low. And I was afraid we might run out of time since we, only have 30 or 40 minutes here. So anyhow, I'll plate some of that up and just see how beautiful that looks.
Wow.
And then you throw a little bit of salt on it. I usually taste it first. I don't know how to cook without tasting, unfortunately. But just a little jigger of salt on that. There we are.
Wow.
Da-da-da-da.
So I came in late. Is there a recipe posted somewhere or?
I did put the recipe in the chat. Are you able to see the whole chat?
I'm on my phone. I had problems with Zoom. That's why I was so late.
Gotcha. Okay.
Are you on our mailing list?
I am, yes.
Because I'm going to reiterate that on our newsletter that I'm going to send out.
I'm going to see if I can find the chat.
I did put it in the chat. I can put it again right now. Maybe are you able to, let's see.
I don't know. It looks like, is this being recorded?
Let's see, there it is.
Ooh, look at that.
Yeah.
Yum, yum.
Yeah.
Isn't that great?
I know. It looks
Hungry
amazing.
now.
Yeah, I know.
Hey, Christina, you're
Uh-huh.
looking great. Looking good. Looking good.
Hey, how are you?
Good, good, good.
Oh,
I wouldn't miss this for the world.
So there we are. See, quick and easy, really. It does, even though I used a lot of pans and different oils, it really isn't that complicated, and doesn't take that long to do. So any other questions or things I can answer about that?
Well, thank God you're recording it because I just kind of got tuned in the last minute or so here.
We'll post it.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, on our YouTube channel. And Christina maybe can add the link to that in our next newsletter.
Yeah, I'll add the link to this recording and to the recipe for those that can't get to it. So if you're not on our mailing list and you want that for the newsletter, be sure to type your email into our chat so that Tanya can add that, give that to me so we can send it. Okay.
Well, if we are on it, we don't need to do that, right? Okay, I think I've found it here.
Yeah, no, if you're already on, you're good.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyhow, so we had a great time in Taormina. It was a lot of fun. This Massimo fellow was just, he was really funny. A young kid, and so I think I was the only one who was Italian in the class. There was only about 4 of us in there. And besides Caponata, he was teaching us this pasta that you roll on a kind of like on a toothpick type of a thing. So that was a lot of fun. We did that. And so he said to me, he says, well, the restaurant's going to open, in about 20 minutes. He says, so do you think you could just stay and help out?
Oh, did you stay and help him?
Yeah, no, we had other stuff to do, but it would have been fun. It would have been fun. Yeah. So anyways, so that's, I guess.
Christina,
Yeah.
sorry, where were you in Taormina? In a house or was it in a restaurant? Where were you?
Oh, when we had the class, it was in the restaurant. It was in
the
Massimo's restaurant.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think website in that one posting of it, but we were staying in a hotel that overlooked the bay there and Mount Etna. It was just amazing.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So had a good time there. When we first went, we landed in Palermo, and we did have a guide, and the guide said, this is before I knew Antimo, just telling you.
Mm-hmm.
And so the guide says, so why are you here? For visiting, relatives or just to see, and so we were kind of telling him, so because they sort of customized some of it for us. And I said, well, no, I do have relatives who live here, but I don't really know them, and I don't really want to spend any time trying to find them. And so he says to me, well, what's the name of the relatives? And so I told him, and he goes, oh, well, they're well known here. So that means, yeah, so I have passed from my other side of the family who tells us we are connected, and that confirmed a little bit of it. So anyhow, did not
Whoops,
look them up.
sorry about
Spent
that.
a lovely time in Sicily, and enjoyed a lot of the beautiful mosaics that they have there, the churches, the wineries, of course, the castles and the temples. The temples are beautiful. So if you ever do, go there, and of course, Angela can give you lots more information on Sicily, but wonderful
Sicily.
place.
Is that anywhere near Lake Como, or is that in the north?
Lake Como's on the Italy itself. This is an island. Sicily is an island off of the main Italy country.
Oh, I thought you might have run into George Clooney down there or something.
Well, Antimo, did we really see his villa when we were there? What was it, a year or so ago? We were
looking at when we were at lunch, but north from where we were. And they said that he had sold it, and that came actually to be true. He only had a few years. He sold it. But we were there, 2 years ago? 2 years ago, right?
It was 2 years, yeah.
Last year.
Yeah.
I know.
Lake Como was beautiful, yeah.
I know that George Clooney had an Italian teacher going and teaching him Italian while he was in Como. Too bad I wasn't there at that time.
Could have been me.
I can only imagine this teacher escorted to this castle or something. It would have been fun. What are you going to tell an Italian class with George Clooney? I have no idea. Anyway. Yeah.
Oh, how fun.
No, but Trump went to Sicily about 2 years ago. I think when there was some sort of a summit, remember? And he went to Sicily. And so, anyway, that was a major moment. Having him there, mobilitated the whole east coast of Sicily to just protect him.
Oh.
Yeah.
No comment.
That's when the mafia should have come out.
Yeah.
Sorry. What's
Yeah.
anything else?
That's, we actually did see several instances where mafia was in control of what was going on at the time. We were walking to a restaurant in Palermo.
In Palermo?
And there were these we came to like an intersection, yeah. And there were 4 guys, and one was standing on each corner, and they were collecting money from people and telling them where they could park on the street. They couldn't just park there. They had to pay these fellows who were not, policemen or anything like that.
Arbitrary, yeah.
Yeah, we asked at the restaurant, we said, what are those guys doing out there? And they told us, that these are You know, that's the mafia out there doing their thing. And a funny, we're traveling with Antimo when we were in Bologna. And so we went to Bologna, and we had Antimo and his brother and my husband and I don't think anybody else was with us at this particular time. And so the parking spaces are so close together. And I remember Antimo's brother is driving the car, and Antimo, you're laughing because you remember, and he's in the back. And so the brother's like moving it an inch, and Antimo's tapping on the car, and then he moves it an inch, and he moves it an inch. And I mean, it must have taken, well,
Yeah,
maybe.
I mean, there was only one little finger on one end and a little finger on the other one side part.
Right. And he got it in. He got this all parked. So then we look up, and here's this man standing there, and we thought, uh-oh. And he was collecting money, and I don't know what he was, Antimo, but somebody paid him. You or your brother paid him, because we didn't know what we were supposed to do.
In the South, there is a lot of improvised people that sometimes are mafia or other entities that will collect money at the parking lot, and they claim to own the parking lot. But in the North, it's probably more like an improvised, I don't know, young person with some particular needs who will just say, you know, I'll look after your car, and you give them €1.
Yeah. So somebody paid him, and we're walking into the main part of town. And I said, you know, Don Timon, his brother, I said, well, you know, what is he? Is he the parking attendant or something, you know, for the street? And they go, well, we don't know for sure, but we figured we better pay him to make sure that the car's there when we come back. So just another funny story. But anyhow, so if you ever do get a chance to go to Sicily, I mean, there's many beautiful parts that are quite different than the mainland of Italy. That, you know, I truly think that don't you think, Angela, you've been around?
Oh yeah, that's like a country within a country. That's what people say when they go to Sicily after, you know, every venture to all the other regions. So when they finally, everybody gets courageous and then just venture all the way south, and they land to this island, 5 million inhabitants, 9 cities, 2 different sides with 2 different histories. Greek on the east and Arab on the west, and the people just are taken aback. It's Italy, but it really is not. We're close to Africa. We have a different, the language is so completely different. So yeah, I mean, of course, I don't know. Antimo, have you been to Sicily?
Yeah, I was gonna be a full month this year there. I
Oh,
take
really?
clients almost every year there.
Oh, yeah.
It's very similar, where our dialect is very
Right.
much like a language. It's not simply a dialect.
Mm-hmm.
But in Sicily, it's funny because I can
Sorry,
understand if
you're
they slow down, but if they speak fluently,
It's the same for me with your language, Antimo. I don't understand Pugliese, my Gobarese. And I was in Bari like last year, and for God's sakes, at this restaurant, there was an event. I don't know, they ever stopped bringing us appetizer, maybe 15 appetizers, and then the first course, and then I mean, we eat a lot, but I was taken aback, and I'm Sicilian, right? So I should know. And I'm like, what's wrong with these people? What are they crazy? They're out of their mind. They kept coming and coming, and I don't even know what they all brought us. I think at least 15 appetizers. That really beat us.
When we visit our relatives in Puglia in Bari, I can so understand what you're saying, because that's what happens. And we never get a chance to order, because my uncle just goes back and talks to the chef or whoever's in the back, and he just says whatever. And we sit there, and then little plates of things just start appearing. And I'm like, well, what is that?
No, it's just really, at the end you think, well, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Oh
And then when the main meal is there, you're like too full because you've eaten all these little plates.
No, and it's so, and you can enjoy the pasta and everything else that they're making. Oh.
In the South, a wedding, I don't know in Sicily, but a wedding will have seriously 30 different appetizers between fish and meat. And then we go 2 primi, 2 secondi. I mean, it's just nonsense. You eat until it's coming out of your ears for 7 hours.
Wow.
Um,
Christina, there was one more question. I don't know if you saw visiting Messina. Yeah, Patricia.
did we visit Messina when we were there? Yes, yes. We
were raised there.
Syracuse, Messina, Palermo. Boy, I'd have to look back at our itinerary. We really covered a lot of ground in about 7 or 8 days, and saw quite a bit. So yes, we did go there. I'm trying to remember what was the high point of that city, and I can't recall right this minute because I'm a little brain dead from today. But anyways,
yeah, that's neat. Is can you do the whole island in like a week or?
Yeah, you can. You can go around in 1 week.
You can get to high points
on a grand tour, but not to enjoy.
Right, that would be too right. Yeah, we are down to our 5-minute mark, so we should probably just start closing it up. I don't know if
I
there's
just want to recommend the Montalbano series to everybody, whoever doesn't know, because it's filmed in beautiful Sicily, and it's a detective story that's so popular, BBC translated, and if you can buy the DVD with the English subtitles, it's really, really fun.
Oh, I see it in the chat. Thank you.
Yeah.
Angela, do you know the channel that's on?
I can look it up real quick.
Okay.
It's not a channel, it's a DVD. I think you can buy it. I can look it up.
It's probably on Netflix, probably.
Oh, maybe.
Okay.
It was on Amazon, I think, Amazon Prime.
Oh,
Okay.
Very popular right now.
Mm-hmm.
Are you looking that up? I'll put
Yeah.
it in.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And if I find it, I'll send it to you.
Thanks for being here.
so
Okay, here it is.
thank you, everyone, and I get to eat my lovely caponata now. Wish you could be here to share it with me because I made. So Mary Lou, if you're still on here, I can pack some of this up and send it your way tomorrow. Well, anyways,
Thank
Thank you,
Christina.
thank you. Hope you had a good time and enjoyed it.
Ciao, Angela.
Yes, very
Ciao, Angelo, bello vederti.
I'm here for
Bye.
tomorrow.
Okay.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Ciao.
Bye.
Thank you.
Hey, Christina.
Oh, thank you, Paul, for coming. Great to see you.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. Maybe we can Zoom sometime. I think we talked on the phone, didn't we, about a couple weeks ago? And
Weeks ago, yeah.
yeah, maybe we could Zoom. That'd be fun.
That would be fun. Sure. Yeah.
Because as I said in the comments, this is the first time you've laid eyes on me since Denver, 2005. Where did my hair go? Where did my hair go?
And I'm wearing the COVID-19, I want you to know, because I've been,
How are you doing, Christina, with your injury? Uh-huh.
Pretty good, pretty good.
Yeah.
They took me off this leg brace just today. So now I've got to get the bending part going on. Which is a little painful. But needs to be done if I want to walk. I've kind of got the granny lean and the goose step going. That's kind of what I'm doing right now.
That's right. Well, you've got Dick there.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, yeah.
Dick.
So
Yep. He'll pitch in.
Yeah, we did.
All
This
right.
was great. Thank you both. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was great. Thank you.
Meeting, and I'll get it put up on YouTube.
Okay.
So, thank you.
Yeah, can't wait to actually watch the class.
Thanks
Okay.
for joining, everyone. Okay.
Take care.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.